You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
Ryan Fox remains in the mix after the second round of the PGA Championship Major in upstate New York. That's despite the Kiwi golfer carding a 3-over par 73 in his second round. He's in a tie for 19th, 1 over for the tournament, and 6 shots off the pace. A 3-way tie for the lead at 5 under. American Scotty Scheffler, Norway's Guy Heveldt, and also the Canadian golfer whose name has escaped me momentarily. Here it is, Corey Connors. Let's bring in One News sports reporter, member of the Monday morning commentary box with Mike Hosking here on ZB, and golf aficionado, Guy Heveldt. How are you, mate?
Morning, mate. Great to catch up with you. Great to chat. Appreciate you having me on.
Morning. What time did you get up?
Oh. Yeah, look, mate, still getting the sleep out of my eyes. No. You know how it is. Sometimes you just autopilot on what time of day it is, Piney. Give me a break.
I know. Oh, mate, you've been watching golf for the last 12 hours. I'll totally forgive you. How happy will Ryan Fox be with his first 2 rounds, do you think?
I would say overall pretty happy. Today, obviously not as good as the first round. Couldn't find many fairways today off the tee. 35% driving accuracy, which is really where his round was curtailed. He found a couple of fairway bunkers, one on the 4th hole, which is his 14th or so, long par 5, which, he's usually very dominant on the par 5s, but finding those fairway bunkers at a place like this, then very hard to make birdies, which is where he tries to capitalise on things on those par 5s. So, yeah, just not very accurate off the tee today, or not as accurate as he would have liked. That then makes it hard to hit greens as well, and with the pin positions tucked so tightly at Oak Hill in the second round, just very, very hard to get the ball close. His lag putting was excellent, though, and that's where he saved himself some shots. Look, a 3-over par round, he probably would have wanted it. He probably would have wanted it a little better, but to be tied for 19th in a brutally tough major like this is at Oak Hill, I think he'd be pretty happy so far.
Yeah, you talk about it being brutally tough, and the scoring. I mean, I think the cut's at 5 over after 2 rounds, which tells a story of its own. Is that the course? Is that what is causing this? The course?
Yeah, largely. 9 players are currently under par for this tournament. 9 players, and a lot of the best players in the world are lagging well behind Ryan Fox. Jordan Spieth, John Rahm, just to name a couple. Behind Ryan Fox at the moment, Phil Mickelson as well. So it's very hard. They've made the rough very long. As I say, those bunkers, fairway bunkers, and the bunkers around the greens are very penal. And also, as I said earlier, the way that they tuck the pins, particularly for this second round, right in the corners of the greens, so hard to access, particularly when you've got long irons in, hard to stop the ball on these firm greens as well. So overall, the way that they've got the condition of the course very tough, and the way that they've set it up in terms of where the pins are and the length of the course also very tough. So it just makes it just brutally hard. You've got to be so accurate in pretty much every shot that you hit.
So given all of that then, and the fact that, as you say, only 9 under par, or 9 golfers under par, the leader's at 5 under, what sort of score do you predict wins this tournament? Is it kind of like a 9 or 10 under, or not even that low?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if it's where we are at the moment. A couple of guys might go slightly under that, but I would be shocked if we reach double figures by the end of the week. Someone like Rory McIlroy, who finished his day with a birdie, an excellent birdie at the 18th hole, he's even par at the moment, and 5 shots off the lead, it sounds like a lot, but at a place like that, it's really not. And for a player like Rory McIlroy, there was this little steeliness in his eyes when he left the 18th green. I would say he would be pretty comfortable with where he's sitting at the moment, and anywhere around him, you'd still say you're a chance of winning this tournament. Even Ryan Fox, I think if you spoke to him right now, not many people around the world would probably give Ryan Fox a chance of winning this tournament where he is, but I suspect he would say that he is still within striking distance 6 shots back. Anything can change around this golf course. These players who are currently in the lead, Corey Connors, Scotty Scheffler, and Guy Heveldt, could unravel at any time. And this course, players are susceptible to shooting very, very high scores. So, I'd be shocked if it reaches double figures, and I would not be surprised at all if 5 under was even the maximum winnings. I wouldn't be surprised if it was even lower than that in terms of 2 or 3 under that actually wins this tournament in the end.
Does it feel to you guys, though, Ryan Fox is now a lot more comfortable in this company and in these really big events?
Yeah, it doesn't just feel like it to me. Piney, he says that himself. He's had numerous, I don't know how many majors he's played in now. It would be at least in the late teens, I would have thought. He's played in a lot of these majors now. He's played with the big names on the European Tour, and of course he's played, about 8 or 9 PGA Tour tournaments now this season alone. So he is really playing consistently with the best players in the world. He looks comfortable. He says he feels comfortable. And this can only help his career. I know he only has to finish, I believe it's a tied 59th to get what's called special temporary membership on the PGA Tour. Now, essentially that means that he can play as many he can play in as many tournaments with sponsor exemptions as he wants for the rest of the PGA Tour season. I know he's going to go back to the European Tour season for a couple of tournaments around the Open Championship. Perfect preparation for that. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him, if he finishes better than tied 59th, which I suspect he will at the PGA Championship, then I wouldn't be surprised if he takes up a few more of those opportunities on the PGA Tour, and then he could very well earn a full PGA Tour card for next season, which would just make him feel even that more bit comfortable and strengthen his career even further.
Yeah, and just to finish on an extension of that, what do you perceive Ryan Fox's ceiling in golf to be? Could he contend for majors, for example?
Could he contend? Absolutely. Could he win them? I think he absolutely could. He's got the game that, we've seen it for a few times where he's been able to string it for 4 rounds together. I would say his best chance of winning a major is probably at the Open Championship. He's won the Dunhill Links tournament on the European Tour at St Andrews, alongside Shane Warne, the late great Shane Warne. He's won that tournament before, bit of a pro-am format, but he won it individually. And he's contended on those links types courses, the Scottish Open, the Irish Open. He's played very well at those tournaments in the past. I would say the Open Championship would be his best chance. But that's not to say, he played well at the Masters and he had pneumonia, for goodness sake, finished tied 26th there. Seemed to like Augusta National, and not many players go to Augusta and play it so well in their first attempt and their first time of seeing that golf course. So, 100% he can win major championships, 100% he can contend with them, and I think we'll see much more of that, particularly if he can get consistent time on the PGA Tour and consistent time playing with these best players in the world. I have real excitement and real positivity about Ryan Fox's career for, say, the next 5 or so years.
Fantastic. Love talking golf with you, Guy. Thanks for lending us your expertise.
Pleasure, mate. Anytime.
Guy Heveldt, One News, Monday morning commentary box, and as you can hear there, golf analyst of the highest order. Great to have him on the show. Ryan Fox will begin the 3rd round of the PGA Championship in upstate New York at a score of 1 over for the tournament. 1 over for the tournament, 6 shots off the pace. And as you heard Guy mention, anything can happen on this course. So a very interesting couple of rounds to come for Ryan Fox.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.